and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, countrymen, Romans, if you say its name and it appears, I believe in Friday Eve, baby. And welcome to another Friday Eve edition of the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It's the Gentleman Jack. It's the big guy KG. I'm the Midnight Rider. Now, on this day here, we got things that happen, right? So we have Friday Eve, and then people wake up on Friday, and then they get in their cars and they commute and they go to work. And when they get to work, they go get some donuts, they go get a little coffee, and they stand around, they talk to each other, and they like, yeah, what you do last night? What you do last night? And another group's like, what you do last night? And then they all say it at the same time. They was like, I was watching this thing. And I was like, well, what's it called? And then that's when somebody in the background just yelled out, it's the Thursday Night Throwdown. Yeah. And that's what we're doing tonight, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thursday Night Throwdown. I am the Midnight Rider. That's the Gentleman Jack Carr. That's the host of the show, the big guy KG. We got a little rundown. We got to take care of some serious situations that happened during the course of the day. We had some NFL signings. Something says tickets, please. I don't know what that is. I'm going to say that for the big guy to set up and make that happen. We got NBA happenings. KG's got beef. What's beef? Beef is when you... Oh, I guess he's not flowing with me today. It's all good.
Oh, beef is when you need two guests to go to sleep. Beef is when your mom stays safe up in the street. Beef is when you in ICU.
Because I see
beef
you.
KG. Beef KG just got beef.
Oh, with that being said, let me turn this over to our host, the big guy KG. Hope you enjoy.
Well,
hey, we got 2 comments already.
Yes, Sam. Sam on point.
Sam got to check in.
And I like that White Castle, Sam. I need me at least a 12-pack.
Nice shows just started. Had to get my White Castle and Pan de Luce for the show. Man, let me tell you something. Let's not get started on White Castle because that's going to be a whole show in itself. Right. I do want to get on the road, though, and go to an authentic White Castle because I used to eat the frozen burgers out of the store.
Oh, yeah.
But I was told those burgers don't touch the authentic White Castle.
Oh, nah, they don't. They don't. But you can buy that box straight from White Castle the same way. They'll sell you the box just like that at White Castle. Frozen joint.
That. We need White Castle.
I was down in Ohio. I was just outside Columbus. And I was like, White Castle, I got to get down. So we go there. And I ate, I think I got 6 in the bag. And I got the box to go of 24. Brought it home, put it in my brother-in-law's freezer. And then ate my 6. And then, man, my back went out, dude. I was laying on the basement floor for 2 days. And then I had to ride all the way back to Maryland from Columbus, Ohio. So I wasn't a happy camper when it came time to pack. So I forgot my White Castles in the freezer. So my brother-in-law got to eat them.
Man, y'all talking about that. Y'all need to talk about the joint back in the day in D.C., Hamburger Hamlet. I don't know if you remember that joint.
I do remember the name, but I know, is that like Little Tavern? Because that's the one that everybody used to talk about, Little Tavern.
Little Tavern, College Park.
No, it's not. I don't know if it's like that, but it's kind of the same, the small hamburgers type of setup, if I remember correctly. Now, this was like when I was like 5 or 6. So there's been some years in between. So
sliders. Nowadays, they call them sliders.
JoJo say love White Castle. Mm-hmm. J-Dub checking in. What's up, J-Dub?
What up, Jaggy?
Sam say Pan de Luce. Sounds like a crime boss from King of New York.
King of New York. Yeah.
I was talking about a guy, Pan de Luce. I don't know how you know that Pan de Luce was the main guy. I'm sorry.
All right. To jump off in this thing is the Midnight Rider. So we got some serious business to handle. So let's put White Castle to the side right now. Handle some serious business. Let me also put us to the side so we can handle said serious business.
Shit.
We lost Oliver Miller yesterday. 54 years old. No cause of death was released. For those of y'all that love 90s basketball the way that I love 90s basketball, Jack, Midnight Rider, he tried to fake like he don't, but he does. And also, Junie, me and Junie used to do shows on 90s basketball, and it would be nearly a 2-hour show, but you remember him from 90s. 6'9", true big man.
Oh, at times,
pterodactyl.
At times, he was 300 plus.
Yeah, has the record for heaviest player to ever play in the NBA.
Really? Bigger than Big Baby?
Yeah, he was the heaviest he was, I think it was 354.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, that's how I used to tell my boys if I was in shape or not. People like, yo, what you feeling like today? I'm like, I'm Oliver Miller, baby. I'm Oliver Miller today.
His professional career span from 92 to 2010. Came out of Arkansas.
What?
Played with Nolan Richardson.
Yeah.
Time out. You're telling me he played 20 seasons?
Not quite 20, 18.
Really?
Yeah, all over. It wasn't
just okay. He was only in the league about 9 or 10.
He was in the league from he played with Phoenix 92 through 94. So he was with Phoenix when they went to the finals in 93.
Finals with Barkley, yeah.
Then he went to the Pistons, the Raptors, the Mavericks, back to the Raptors. Then he went overseas. Where's this at? To Greece. And 98 and 99. Then for the 99 lockout season, he came back to Sacramento. Played with Phoenix in 99, 2000. Then he went, where's this back at? This Poland. He played in the ABA with the Southern California Surf. Played in the IBL with Gary Steelheads. The U.S. Basketball League with Dodge City.
Mm-hmm.
The Dakota Wizards from the NBDL.
I'm still waiting on one, KG. I'm waiting on one.
I'm getting you. Where is this at? This is Puerto Rican League.
Oh!
He also went over to China, played over there, came back in 2003 and 2004. I think he appeared in 3 games for the Minnesota Timberwolves. That was his last stint in the NBA, and he also played Dakota Wizards, the Arkansas Rim Rockers of, I don't even know what league, ABA, and NBDL, the Arkansas River Cats of the ABA, and finally the Premier Basketball League, the PBL, Lawton Fort Sill Cavalry was his last team in 2010. Last time anybody had talked to him, they said in September 2020, he was reported to be retired because he went on to become a car salesman. He retired in 2020, and he had got his weight down to 278. And he was doing basketball camps and playing with his grandchildren was what he was doing. And he passed away at the age of 54 yesterday. I turn it over to the gentleman, Jack. Then the Midnight Rider. What you got, Jack?
Well, everybody remember the Big O, man. Like I said, first round pick, Phoenix Suns, and number 22 overall. He was a part of that Final Four team at Arkansas in 1990, and they had recently gotten together, I want to say within the last year, and the word was that Big O had cancer. That was the word released at that gathering. I read that today in some of my research. I remember him in that finals team with Phoenix. He was young then. He was probably second year in the league. Yep, he got drafted in 92, so second year in the league to go to the finals with Charles and AC Green and them. But I feel his best year in the NBA was in Toronto. He had some of his higher point averages in Toronto. I think he played, 2-3 years in Toronto? I know he played 2. And the thing I was waiting for you to say was he had 2 short stints with the Harlem Globetrotters too. And I'm a fan of the Globetrotters. We took my daughter to see the Globetrotters probably 10 years ago up in Baltimore. And fun time like it was when I was a little dude. I remember when X-Ray Hip from Maryland went to the Globetrotters. And that was just a couple years after I dogged them down there at the basketball court behind Ritchie Coliseum. I caught him twice on the baseline sleeping. And he was like, man, for chunky dudes, man, you and that other guy talking about J-Dub, you guys are nice. Chunky dudes. That's what he called us, chunky. So Oliver Miller had a full basketball career. He continued his game because he loved the game and didn't want to stop, you know. That's why he went to all those different leagues. He just wanted to get his run on, you know. It's like, man, you going to a different gym. You know, he got released. He wanted to go run with somebody else. So I give Oliver Miller some that, man. He loved the game of basketball. And I like that. You could tell too. What you say there, big guy? Little guy, what'd you say? No, he froze up.
There you go. I think I'm good now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I couldn't tell if it was me or you guys. Then I saw
there you go.
My whole screen go blank.
Yeah, that's what I got on Oliver Miller, the big O. Loved the game of ball, played as long as he could, died way too young. What'd you say he was? 54? Yeah, 54 years old, man.
54.
That was 2 years ago for me, man. And like I say, everybody just got to realize, man, you're not promised tomorrow. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them and live every day to its fullest. Midnight Rider?
Oliver Miller, I mean, I think you said a lot of what I was going to say. I mean, he was a tremendous athlete. One of those guys that, I mean, it was almost as if sometimes it was like the bigger he was, the better he was, because he took his time. He didn't have to rush. He was so comfortable in that space. And I think that's the one thing that people sometimes fail to realize, that some of the bigger dudes, they used to being that big, so they can carry that weight with no problem. I think about all the talks about like guys like Myles Garrett being able to dunk, or like Trent Williams being able to dunk. So just think of like Oliver Miller and the athleticism he has. He may not be able to dunk, but he's one of those guys that he can move around the basketball court, make things happen. He was a great passer. That 94 team that they had, really, I think if Dumas makes a couple more plays and doesn't disappear, that team might win that series from Chicago. But if was a Smith, we all be high. So we ain't got to worry about.
Hello. Yeah, but you know, he had that body, and when he got big, a lot of guys I played against, Jack Wagner, one of them, they use that big ass, you know? They use that big ass to kind of space you, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And J-Dub was good at that when he played. And I think Miller, as you said, played in a big body almost all his life, and he knew how to use his body to get space.
One of the words I like to use with guys like that is nimble. You know, he's a nimble guy. And I mean, it's actually kind of funny that we followed talking about him after last night. We talked about LaVon Kirkland, a guy that played middle linebacker at like 289, 299, and he moved around like it was nobody's business. Mm-hmm. You would have never thought he was 290 by the way he moved around the field.
Yep. Well, actually, LaVon Kirkland was over 300.
At some points, yes, but he started out lighter. And shoot, what did Kubu say last night? He started at like 200 pounds or something.
Yeah, he said he was like 195, 185, something like that when he came into Clemson, but he was still chiseled. And then he started putting the weight on with the muscle and got to be a big man.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to take the bait that the Midnight Rider laid out there, so I'm not going to take that bait. But Oliver Miller, I do remember him. And like the dude, like I said, his wingspan was like a pterodactyl. To be him and Lonnie Baxter, players under 6'9" with these long arms. And I was like, players like that, they're always going to rebound because they don't have to jump high, they just reach up. And Jack, you talk about putting his ass on people. Yeah, you got to put the backyard on. You put the backyard on somebody and back them down, box them out. It's good. Rick Mahorn did it for years.
Yeah.
So, Rick Mahorn, Jeff Rulin, those guys that don't look like they're quote unquote athletic, but you can't get around in the rebound. Oliver Miller was that guy.
Right.
Rest in peace to him. Like Jack said, man, life's short, but it shouldn't take somebody to pass away for you to know that life is short. You should know every day that life is short, whether somebody dies or not. It's called the present because it's a gift. Treat it like that.
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery.
Don't play that Ray Lewis cut.
That's not even Ray Lewis.
That's not Ray Lewis.
That's Bobby Wagner.
My bad. You're right. But I knew y'all was going somewhere with that.
Couple of comments real quick.
Come on, Jack. We gratuitously drop Ray Lewis in the scene like this.
Football, though. Football. Y'all was talking football. This basketball.
Not us. We would never. You know what I'm saying?
J-Dub said Little Tavern was good shit. He liked the one in Northeast DC.
I've never been to that one.
Sam said, wow, I was just watching a YouTube video about him a few days ago. He played for the Bulls, sort of like he didn't make the cut. Now, he didn't make the cut with us. I remember signing him, but I think he was just in training camp. J-Dub said, Big O had good years in the NBA and college. Yeah, can't deny that. Sam says they should make a movie about him and had a blindside actor play him. You could. Hey, if they ever do a movie on those Arkansas teams, what's that, 40 Minutes of Hell with Nolan Richardson?
Mm-hmm.
You got it. J-Dub said facts. Sam said Q Ray Charles playing the piano. Georgia. Georgia. Now, this next one, it hits close to home, and I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. John Feinstein, Washington Post writer, best-selling author. I was introduced to John Feinstein, who I knew, if you're a TK Little, like myself, I am Tony Kornheiser Little, Junior, as he was called on the Tony Kornheiser show. He was one of the many guests that would come on, and it was always great. He passed away today at 68. Again, no cause of death. I guess they want to say his most famous book is On the Brink, which is about the Indiana Hoosiers. And
yes.
they made ESPN movie with Brian Dennehy off of his book. So I'm gonna toss it over to the Gentleman Jack and then the Midnight Ride, and I'll finish it up.
Yeah, he also wrote a book about Red Auerbach that I really liked. And actually, I meant to look at my bookshelf behind me. I know I got at least 4 Feinstein books down there, at least 4. He wrote some good stuff. He was a great sports writer. Washington Post, man. I've been reading the Washington Post since I could read. That's how I learned how to read, sitting in my daddy's lap reading the sports page. So I've been reading Feinstein forever. I'm not saying I was reading them when I was little, but when he came to the Post, I've been a big fan of his. His last article he wrote, guys, at Midnight Rider, this here catch your attention. The last article, I might go up the road tonight and pick up a copy. He wrote an article on Tom Izzo that was in the paper today.
Yep.
So that's all. I guess I can read it online. I don't have to go get the paper. Whatever. I'm so old school.
But no, if you get the paper, it might be, I think people do papers because sometimes those type of things are worth something.
Well, I love folding it and kicking back and reading it, That's just me. I usually got a sports page in my back pocket on the weekends. That's how a lot of people around here identify me and met me, by seeing I carry a sports page. They knew I was a big sports guy. But anyway, Feinstein.
So you have a bunch of people in Kent Island looking at your butt. It's basically what you're telling me.
Yeah, my butt was all right. My butt's all right. Old man butt. Nah, I'm a sports page, man. That's what one dude said. Is that a sports page in your pocket? I said, of course it is.
Is that a sports page in your pocket? You happy to see me?
I mean, it's just you, man. It's you, Midnight Rider. So, Feinstein is a Duke grad. He is survived by his wife, Chris, his daughter, Christine, his daughter, Bridget, and his son, Danny. Yeah, he had, this is his, he has kids with two different women, but his wife is Chris. What else do I got? Oh, he wrote 48 books, guys. And I'll tell you, I know I got at least 4 to 6 of them on my shelf over there. I meant to pull them out before the show. He was a passionate guy, and most people either love him or hate him. So I was a Feinstein fan. What do you got, Midnight Rider?
Well, I mean, if you want to segue any better than that,
got a pencil in your pocket?
I put it like this. I respected John Feinstein. I respect his works. 48 books, 23 bestsellers. Did I always see eye to eye with him? No. Did I pay attention to him on what's that? The Tony Kornheiser show? No. I thought that show was awful, but I mean that's just me. The only thing I could take from that is like the Tony's Mailbag. I did like the Tony's Mailbag, but after that, I was kind of tired of that show. Plus, it was just I don't know. I don't want to do too much. I see already KG up in the top screen capitulating as I say this stuff.
Capitulating.
So, I think Feinstein has some great relationships. I know he has a great one with Coach K because I know they spent a year when he wrote his book on Coach K's last season. Jack, I'm with you. I think I might have to try to at least get a copy of that article on Izzo, mostly because it's my guy Izzo. But I mean, him, the writer, I had respect for. I just didn't like some of the things he said in some of his interviews. He seemed over the top at times, but I mean, you said it, Jack. You love him or hate him, and the fact that he gets you to pick an emotion is one of the best things about being a writer. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still going to read it just so I can argue against his point. And I think that's one of the true great things about art and being a writer is no matter if somebody likes you or not, if you're a good writer, they're still going to respect your writing enough, read you, and then develop opinions, whether they agree or disagree. Hey, KG.
I see this gonna be the show where we just don't. That's what we doing right there. But it's okay.
You didn't do nothing.
Y'all two
I
do
didn't
that
bite
every
the bait
week.
last segment. I'm gonna bite the bait this time. You may not have liked John Feinstein. That's on you. Because it's a list of names that I got hella respect for because of the Tony Kornheiser show that was heard at one point in time on WTEM 980, ESPN 980, or what is it now? The Team 980,
the Team
10 a.m. And from David Aldrich, Chris Saliza, Tori Clark, Liz Clark, Gary Braun from Braun Films. I respected those people because I loved listening to them from 10 to 12.
Okay.
Even Nigel, even though I had to stop following Nigel because he said something on Twitter a couple of years ago that kind of really rubbed me the wrong way. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and back up off Mark Stern like that. But John Feinstein was one of those guests that when he was on, I knew it was going to be a good show. Another guest that was like that is when they brought James Carville on. Because if it was around election time and I could listen to James Carville break down both sides of an issue and to get a better understanding, that's why I love Tony Kornheiser. Same reason why I used to love Russ Paul, because he would put the jokes to the side and talk about real life. I loved it. John Feinstein was one of those people that when he was on and Junior was on and he was firing on all cylinders, it made for a great show. And, the books that he's written, man, he's best-selling author. What did you say? 23 books that were bestsellers, New York bestsellers? I believe what you said online, Midnight Rider.
I said that just now on the show.
You probably didn't hear that part.
You probably missed that part because I said something.
Yeah, because I was so focused on what you said, and I was fuming. I was pissed. I was seeing red right now. But
I don't know why. Again, I keep telling you, I respect the man.
I'll give you that.
And I tell people that anytime I talk about him, I respect his work. I respect the person. I respect all of it. I just didn't like some of the things he said. I didn't like his approach at times. And that's me. But I get to be me because God made me this way. He can't make me no other way.
And I understand that. And I wouldn't want him to make you any other way. So, but what I'll say, he made that era of radio that I talk about so much, which that era of radio is what birthed this show right here. You know, we pay homage to Big John because of his radio show, but it was that era of radio from the Tony Kornheiser show to Inside the Locker Room with Kevin Sheehan and Tom Lavero to Doc Walker and Brian Mitchell. The sports reporters after the John Thompson show. You know, it was so much. But that era of radio, that 2006 to 2000, I believe that was 14, it was untouched. Sports talk radio was like that.
Okay. I'm not going to say my thoughts on that, but I'm going to ask you a question. There's a brother named Disco that's from that area. Probably
Disco Dane.
Disco is probably a K9.
Oh,
sure. He probably would have been on the radio during that time. I know I'm friends with him on Facebook. I mean, on Twitter. But do you remember that name? Because if so, I think he's somebody that we should book for In the Passenger Seat. And then for those that missed it last night, Wednesday night on In the Passenger Seat, starring Jack Carr with me as the backseat driver. We had a nice interview with a gentleman from the University of Clemson, John Kubu.
Yes, sir.
Am I saying it correct?
Yes, sir.
Check it out. It's available on YouTube right now as we speak. It probably will get dropped sometime later this weekend as a replay, but check it out. Great interview. If you like interviews, what we try to do in the passenger seat is just give you a small glimpse of the sports world and then also the people that are influenced by the sports world and allow you to take a journey through their eyes. And we just guide them along the path. And then we go all the way down to the exit ramp and then we drop them off and get to our next guest and start the next week.
Yes, sir.
Most definitely. But I don't remember that name right offhand.
Okay.
I do remember, of course I remember Big Tony. Big Tony, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. At one point in time, you know, he tried to unseat me when I was the 5-time S-Talk champion. 5 times. Okay. Put them 5s up. He tried to unseat me. He got me 1 week, and I went on a 4-week win streak. So, but those were the days. And John Feinstein will be missed. You know,
sure,
undoubtedly. Matty Ice checking in. Feinstein, Kornheiser, and Wilbon. They are DC sports writer. This one hurts. His books are amazing. I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. And I think this one hits close to home because we talking Washington Post. We talking DC radio, you know. Who else would I would throw David Aldridge in that too. As the DC, one of the DC sports writers, even though he writes for the Athletic now, but I forget who he was the Times. Him and Lavero was writing for the Times, I think.
Yeah, they were all right there together.
Huh?
Like all those guys are right there together. Wilbon, Kornheiser, Aldridge, who's the other guy you just mentioned? And I just
Tom Lavero.
Yeah. All of them right in that same space of, you know, the early Redskin years and all that stuff. The Joe Gibbs, well, I say early Redskin years, I mean the Joe Gibbs era and all of that. You know, Tony for the Lays Boulay.
Yeah, and Tony for the bandwagon. The 91, his column was always the bandwagon.
Yeah, had a little cartoon, a picture of a bandwagon with a bunch of players and fans on it. Yeah, I remember that.
Because I remember after the Dallas game, everything was, 11-0 and that, and then when we lost to Dallas, it was 11 and oops.
Right.
I remember. What was I? Had I turned 10? Yeah, I was 10 when that happened. So that was 10. So I was 10 years old, and I remember that. I still remember that. Matter of fact, if I look hard enough, I might actually have a picture of that to share with the class. But I digress. But he will be missed immensely. Sam said we got to get more people like Feinstein on the passenger seat show sometimes. I believe y'all would actually go 2 hours on that. So
we're working on it, Sam. If you got anyone that you think might be interested in being interviewed, please let me or Midnight Rider or anybody at the podcast network know, bud.
J Dub said, rest in peace, John Feinstein. Sam said, hi, is that a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle in your pocket?
Nah, Coke 45 in there.
JoJo said, I'm with you, Ben. Hey, JoJo, you normally on my side.
She is. She always not on my side.
Sam said, I guess KG got as much love for Feinstein as Sam all has love for Rush. The world can coexist. We are more alike, my friend, than we are unalike. Yeah, we are. You know what, Sam? We may not agree on everything. We agree on some things, but it's okay that we can agree to disagree and still come back here and do this every night. So,
yeah.
Now, I guess I gotta preface this and say, fellas, I didn't want to do it, but we got to get to it. I don't need long, but I got beef. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you as a broken Georgetown fan. And I'll say this. I watched the game last night against DePaul. Georgetown was ranked number 7 in the Big East. DePaul was number 11 or something like that. And DePaul was beating up on Creighton before we start the show. But I'm going to say this. I watched the game with Dario. I do not understand what in the world Georgetown was doing late in that game. Does nobody take mid-range shots anymore? All I kept hearing is Ed Cooley telling them to rotate better on defense, take better shots. And he's telling you what to do. And you're still not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Cooley gave you the blueprint. And I know I was hard on Ed Cooley because he's not from the tree of Thompson. He's not Georgetown. I get that. That's me being biased. But Ed Cooley cannot take you to the promised land if you do not listen to him. The rotation late on, you run a 2-3 zone. You're rotating late to the third pass, and they're getting open shots. Whether they miss them or make them, they're getting open shots uncontested. On the offensive end, nobody has a mid-range game anymore. Everything's either one dribble, shoot a 3 that's contested, or run the floor and try to run down over 3 people and try to lay it up and hope to get a foul. Dario is in the studio with me. Dario, have I said anything that was a lie?
No, it's sad to see nobody shooting the mid range. It was open shots. I think the center was the only one that in my opinion, was doing good. I enjoyed seeing the center work compared to the rest of the team. Like when they needed points, the center was there. You know, he's taller than the DePaul center.
Mm-hmm.
Could have shot over him. He was doing it. It's just they rotated late a lot, but then after the half, they got it together for a bit, and then it just went right back downhill.
And the center he's talking about is Drew Fielder. Mm-hmm. Drew Fielder, I told Dari, I said Georgetown's known for having bigs, quick guards and bigs. We got a big in Drew Fielder. He's 6'11" from Boise, Idaho. Went to Southern California Academy for high school.
Get your hands out your face.
He's down there off the pick and roll. Why are we not feeding this cat? He's athletic. Why are we not feeding him in the paint? But DePaul comes back in the second half. And let me get this guy's name. When I say he dominated, what was it, 30? Benson, NJ Benson. When I say he dominated in the second half, they said in their huddle, give him the ball at the elbow and let him go to work. And what did he do? He took the ball from the elbow, took 2 dribbles, put his back to the basket, put his backyard on this man, and went to work. 18 minutes is all he played. He had 18 and 4. But he carried them on his back in the second half. DePaul went 3 minutes without hitting a shot. Notre Dame couldn't do anything with that. So Notre Dame goes down. I'm sorry. Georgetown goes down 71-67 to DePaul. What are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
This is unacceptable. I've already sent out a tweet telling Ed Cooley, I got a point guard for you that can really be a floor general. He knows how to play the game properly. You can put him on as a walk-on. I'll pay for the semester. If that's the way, if we're going to get proper basketball at back up on the hill, I'll pay for it. But this right here was unacceptable. And yes, I got beef. Gents.
Those comments were brought to you by KG and KG only. Do not reflect the comments of the Sideline Junkies. And as I look at Jack Carr, he doesn't realize he muted himself, so we can't hear him.
It ain't like they just been playing like that yesterday. They've been playing like that all year long, dog.
Say it again, Jack.
And I don't get this beef, dog. I don't.
But that's my thing. You've been playing like this all year long. If you know it wasn't working and you were 17 and 14 coming in this game, you know common sense on the defensive end. If we're running a 2-3 zone, if Midnight Rider's on the left side of the floor, I'm on the right side of the floor. Jack brings the ball up in the middle. He moves over to the left side of the floor. Midnight Rider picks him up. Once he comes to the key and he comes over to the right side of the floor, Midnight Rider's supposed to pass him off to me. He's not supposed to come in my zone and leave that side of the floor open. I saw that so much last night. It irked my nerves.
They just don't have the talent.
Part of the talent.
I stomped on the floor last night.
Coach.
They got the coach.
Part of it is the acumen. It's not the coach. It's the acumen of these players, man. These guys play bad basketball all their lives, and then they get into college, and now you're trying to break habits that are established, and it's part of their lifestyles now.
And that's the problem, because this is why I say AAU ruined the game of basketball, because everybody wants to play with their friends. There is no fundamentally sound coaches. It's just basically playground basketball. Where's the fundamentals? Where's the structure? Mm-hmm. You come off a screen, you got big shooting from downtown. I hear Patrick Ewing in my head. What you shoot that shot for? Have you ever shot that before? Do you practice that shot? I ain't never seen you practice that before. That's what I hear. And it's not just Georgetown. We watched Texas versus, what was that, Texas A&M earlier?
Yeah.
No mid-range shots. It was either 3 or trying to run over somebody to get to the basket.
But you got to remember now, these guys have these analytic people or their analytic advisors telling them that the value is not in them taking the long 2 or the mid-range 2. The value is in you taking the 3 or the layup. They're basically telling these guys to take that middle game out because the reward is greater by either taking the layup or the 3-point shot.
Well, I've been trying to hold this till after college basketball talk, but you've said it about NBA players as well, KG, not having mid-range game going on. I tell you what, I think SGA is the best mid-range player in the NBA. He put up 34 points last night with no three-pointers. He was sticking that joint right off the left elbow, right off the right elbow all night long. He's got to move. You know, that's part of his plays. So you see it in a guy like SGA. I thought of you last night when I saw him playing like that. And it's funny that today you bring up the mid-range again. So Midnight Rider's right, man. They tell him don't shoot a long two. You should go back and do that step back, which is a travel most of the time. Do that step back move and shoot a three or pass it in for a layup. That's basically what they're doing, man.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. I seen somebody try to do revisionist history on Kevin Garnett's career. And he had the shot chart up. He was like, if Kevin Garnett would have took a step or two back and just shot those from the three, look how many points he would have had. That's not the way the game is supposed to be played.
Yeah, but KG had a nice 10-footer.
KG could hit from 15 to 17 feet. Money.
Yeah.
He could take you on a block, but same thing with Chris Webber. Chris Webber could hit Chris Webber, KG. Karl Malone had a pretty jumper. That's the way the game was supposed to be played. Where if you're going to shoot a jumper as a big, if you're a center, Arvydas Sabonis, Rick Smits, those guys could shoot jumpers. They had a mid-range game, but they could take you down on the block and abuse you. Even with Rick Smits' bad feet, you didn't want to get that 7'4" Duncan Dutchman on the block. These guys are coming up, and it's like, what are we doing here? Constantly. I'm saying that with every form of basketball, every level. What are we doing here?
The game.
Everybody wants to dribble and try to get the highlight. I want to yank them, but you don't want to yank them and go to the lane and lay it up on them. You want to yank them, step back, let them get up, and then try to do it again.
Game has changed, bud.
Yeah, it's changed for the worse.
Yeah. I mean,
but I digress.
All right.
JoJo said that's on the players. And they not listening. They not. And I guarantee you, before it's all said and done, before we get fully into the off season, quite a few of those players going to enter the transfer portal.
Oh, of course.
Mark my words.
At Midnight Rider.
Yo.
That's about 15 minutes of our life we ain't going to get back.
Not, but hey, I mean, the man he got beef, man.
He always got beef.
Damn. Hurt me. Man, a couple NFL signs today. The Chargers and Taylor Heineke, 1-year contract, $6 million.
Yep.
The Commanders signed a 1-year deal with Jacob Martin, $3 million worth up to $3 million. And the Commanders fans,
he's an edge rusher out of Chicago.
Okay.
For the Commander fans, please stop with the crying emojis and the crying gifts because of who we signed. Bruh, stop. Now you want to cry about something? This is what I cried about. The Bears are signing Olamide Zaccheaus.
Man, you might have to take a day off today or something.
We just mute this mic. It ain't worth that much.
He got to gather himself.
It's Olamide Zaccheaus.
I know, right?
Hey, I wanted him back, man. Don't try to mute me either. I saw that. Don't try to mute me. I'm the Bowery King. You can't mute me.
I'm the captain now. But nah, seriously, man. I mean, because I had a dude on Facebook get mad at me because I was like, he said something. They said something about KJ Osborne being signed, and I was like, we need bodies. He was like, well, why you sign him before all these other people? And it just so happened that the Noah Brown came like probably an hour later before I was able to respond. And I was like, look, he probably just got the email first, or got to his email first and was like, yes. And then, Zaccheaus probably had a market because he did play well down the stretch. I think he may have had on total for the season, maybe 5 touchdowns.
3.
I know he had 2 against the Eagles. I think he had 1 against the Falcons. So that's 3 in the stretch. Not sure what else he had, but I mean, the guy showed well. So it's just one of those things.
Agreed. But I mean, I got to be overly dramatic.
I know. I wasn't worried about that part.
The Bills signed Chenault. They got him for kickoff return. Washington re-signed Nick Bellore.
Okay. That's the dude from Seattle, the special teams ace. They did a lot of laundry list stuff today. They signed back a lot of their guys.
Mm-hmm.
They restructured Wiley. They signed Trent Scott back. They signed Noah Brown back. They signed back KJ Osborne. They signed back the center Dieter.
Yeah, people crying over that.
Trying to think of who else I can think of off the top of my head that they signed back. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I think they are up to signing 15 of the 28 guys. And actually, that's a question I want to ask you guys, if you don't mind. But I want you to finish the signings first before I ask this question.
Okay. Another signing that Washington got was hometown kid Eddie Goldman. People like, who is that? I'm like, how do you not know who that is? Did you watch college football? Like, really? But we got Eddie Goldman. For those that are new to the show, I've talked about Eddie Goldman ad nauseum on this show. Coming out of college, playing with Chicago, everything. I've talked about him a lot. His dad is one. Put it to you honestly. His dad is the reason why I'm sitting in this seat right now. Because being a young buck, thinking I know everything and I know all this football history and this football knowledge, I used to go to him and the Professor Lucky. And I would come up with these arguments and they'd be like, that's not even an argument. Cut the shit. And they taught me, they taught me the correct way to really base an argument. So I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for him and the Professor Lucky. I got to give him a shout out for that. That's why I talk about Eddie Goldman so much. Flacco visited the Giants today. What else we got? Gardner Minshew gone to the Chiefs for one year.
Yep.
But the Chiefs ain't done much, man. They lost like 9 players to free agency, so the Chiefs haven't done much in free agency, I feel.
But sometimes you can't do much because you only got so much to work with.
Right, handcuffed.
Right.
But something I noticed, and this team's been making some waves in free agency, is Seattle. Seattle got a shit ton of picks this year. I think they got 9 or 10 9 or 10 picks.
Yeah.
I see they got a first, they got a second, they got 2 thirds, they got a fourth, they got 2 fifths, they got 2 sevenths. Them fifths and sevenths, they can be thrown in on some moving, some trading or some moving around. So Seattle could be the most improved team in this next season.
I don't know if they're going to be the most improved because they're going to be so young at wide receiver. And what do they do with quarterback? Quarterback is
they got what's his name?
They got Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to figure out wide receiver.
They're gonna get one in the draft too.
Right. I think that's either they take a kid at 18, like Luther Bolden or one of those guys. If they don't go wide receiver at 18, maybe they go because they still need interior offensive line, and then they need I want to say D lineman help somewhere, but we'll talk about that when we get to them.
They got 4 picks in the top 100, Midnight Rider. 4 picks.
No, I know, because the second they made the Metcalf deal, I literally probably waited 24 hours and I did a mock with them. So I traded back from 18 to 25, picked up another pick, and then went D lineman, O lineman. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but yeah.
I think they're gonna have fun on draft day.
That's the biggest names. Oh, and the Vikings plan on releasing Garrett Bradbury, center, unless they can work out a trade.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if anybody wants a center, make sure your equipment guy has a change of pants because he's a sweaty guy. So your quarterback's hands will get wet if he's under center a lot.
And you said you had a question, Midnight Rider. What you got?
So my question to you is, how I'm gonna try to ask it the best way I can, because I got layers to it. It's like an ogre and an onion. It's got layers. But I'll ask you this way: Washington having to re-sign a bunch of free agents and also make trades to make their roster better. What do you think is the biggest influence on that? Like, what's the driving factor for them building the team this way, as opposed to them building it the way they wanted to, which was strictly through the draft? That's what I want to ask you.
I think it's, to be honest, no knock on none of the young cats. I don't think it's enough talent draft wise to build what you want to build. If we didn't go to the NFC Championship game, I think they would have built through the draft. Now this is a recalibration last year, and that recalibration turned into a run of epic proportions. Like, what? And it's like, okay, now we went from slow and low with the crock pot to the future is now. So we didn't kind of sort of turned into George Allen a little bit with the future is now. So I think that's what changes it, in my opinion.
Any thoughts, Jack?
On what? I'm looking for a note, man. I can't find it. Where was y'all at, fellas?
No, we were just talking, saying that the Commanders' strategy this offseason, do you think that's because there's a lack of talent in the pool from the team itself, or is it because they kind of changed directions of getting what they wanted to get, or it could be a little bit of both?
No, it definitely changed directions. There's a like you always say, there's a type that Washington wants now, and it's like they do up north, man. They say play like a Raven. Well, they're making a thing in Washington, and you're playing like a commander. You're a commander, and I'm comfortable saying that word now. I don't like it, but it's no longer out of my vocabulary. There's a guy, a type that Washington's looking for now, and they're just not out there grabbing every little scrappy free agent they can. So that's what I see on that.
Agreed.
Okay.
Couple of comments. Sam also innocent running hot water over that frozen beef. Like, wrap it up, B. Wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. T-shirt I did. KG's Meat Market. I got the beef. Hey,
yo, I love Sam, dog.
I'm writing that down.
That's a good one, Paul.
But you gotta do it like old school deli style.
Yeah, with the deli. Oh my goodness. Wait. Let me write that down. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I had a list of who's left in the free agent market. One name that I want to bring up and wonder, is anybody going to pick this guy up, is Stephon Diggs. He's still out there. And everybody in the league knows he's a crybaby. So, and he's getting up in age. So, is Stephon Diggs going to get picked up?
I think he will. I think he'll be much later on in the process. I think teams are going to explore their other options. And then when they get to a certain point, when he becomes, he's kind of the clear-cut best guy available, but you got to be willing to deal with him. And this is just off the top of my head. You might be able to find somebody real quick. But I just think he's one of those guys that I think Amari Cooper, I just don't think they do enough anymore. Like they don't hold that same place in the receiver world. And I think teams will wait. Maybe even some teams are going to try to figure it out and get to camp because they may not get signed until camp. To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. And he's coming off an ACL tear, so.
Yep.
Maddie said, starting to think my Raiders may be finally heading in the right direction. I'm like, I like adding most of that running back. Now, where do the Raiders pick at?
They pick 6.
Okay. So we got a couple weeks to go before we get to 6, but let me put it out there now. The Raiders need a game-breaking running back. It's only the Raider thing to do. Pick a running back in the first round.
Is that your earth-shattering news?
There's a bunch of nice ones.
And I think they're going to go. They're not going to get Genty. They're going to get Scatbo.
Where's Genty going before?
I think
before 6.
Oh yeah, you're talking to the mock draft king here, so you're probably wrong, KG.
I might be.
I think he's going to go top 5.
I don't think he's a top 5 guy, but I can see him going 6 to Vegas, and that's kind of where I start putting him on the map. 6. There's a couple other spots that I can see. Chicago is another spot I can see him going because I'd rather see because Chicago, of course, coming off with a guy like Ben Johnson having Jahmyr Gibbs at his leisure or at use. I can see a Genty type of guy going there. I don't know. It's a couple teams. We'll get there, man.
And where does Chicago pick, Midnight Rider?
I think Chicago's 8 and the Raiders is 6. But give me a second. I can find that out for you. Because you know I got mine.
A couple of these
the comments.
Chicago's making some good moves right now. They shoring up the line a little bit.
Yeah, that's been their main focus.
So Chicago is 10th.
Oh, I don't think Genty gonna be there for Chicago.
All right, let's talk it out. So
we're gonna talk about Sunday, aren't we?
I mean, we're not doing the early part. We're doing the bottom part of the draft.
We go from bottom to top.
Yeah, we do a weird reverse mock.
Okay.
So we don't actually. I mean, the whole thing about the mock is more so giving the fans the idea, not exactly about being right this time through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, Chicago's 10. At 9 is New Orleans. Yeah, maybe. Because maybe they can get off the Kamara bus. Carolina's not doing it because they just extended what's his name?
Kamara's a beast.
Yeah, but he's also up in his 30s and he hasn't had over 700 yards rushing in the last.
He ain't got no squad.
Again, just giving you options, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Carolina at 8. I know they're not signing them because they got the kid Hubbard that they just extended. The Jets aren't going to be interested because they got Breece Hall and the kid from Wisconsin, the big fella Braden Allen. The Raiders are at 6. The Jaguars are at 5. I mean, they could get rid of ETN because I don't like any ETN running backs, but that's not my call. The Patriots at 4. And then New York, Cleveland, and Tennessee, I don't see them doing any of that with a running back.
Okay. J Dub said, I thought I heard the Seahawks were checking out Cooper Kupp.
I heard that too.
I heard Ravens and Cowboys.
If I'm the Ravens, I try to get him there as fast as possible.
Matty Ice said, I'm hoping they get one of the running backs at 6.
It's not one of, it's the best.
JoJo said Chicago. I think that's when what we were talking about with Genty or Scatbo, Dallas.
Whoa. No, we're not.
He ain't going that early.
Scatbo is not getting. Look, get this out your head now. Scatbo ain't getting picked before I told you, 3rd round.
We already talked about it. I'm right, you're wrong.
Okay.
All right. She said Dallas needs a running back. I think that's where they're going.
I don't think
And
so.
Dallas could definitely use him.
I think Dallas is going to go. This is my early call. Write it down. It's an early call. I think Dallas might go with a kid like Shador Stewart from Texas A&M defensive end, because their defensive line is being trashed. They lost Lawrence. They've lost.
I wouldn't mind picking Lawrence up.
Well, he actually signed somewhere today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I
think
him.
He went to Seattle.
Big man.
If memory serves me correctly.
Okay. Jack said Cooper Kupp. He said Dallas could definitely use him. Yeah, they could. They could.
I don't sign anybody right now, Jack.
Switching gears. Let's talk some college basketball. Tickets, please.
That's what that is.
Wagner. I'm sorry, Jack Carr. Gentleman Jack Carr.
Yes, sir.
Jack Wagner, I hope you listening. Tell me who done already punched their ticket, brother.
Man, there's been a bunch of teams that done punched their ticket already. The team with the craziest name I've seen so far, Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. They play out in the Ohio Valley Conference. First time to the dance. So they dance virgins, man. That's awesome. The other team, well, first of all, Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville is 22-11. Then you got High Point from the Big South. They're 29-5. It's their first trip to the dance as well. Lipscomb, 25-9 from the Atlantic Sun. Their second appearance. I like Lipscomb. They won me some cheese this year. Here's a team with a tremendous record. I know they're not playing all the top tier teams, but Drake is 30-3 from the Missouri Valley. This is their 8th appearance in the tournament. Then you got from the Summit Conference, Omaha. They 22-12, and this is Omaha's first appearance here as well. And then from the Southern Conference, you got Wofford, 19-15. So they did some upsets in their conference tournament, I reckon, to come in with a 19-15 record. Their 6th appearance in the tournament. Coming out of the Sun Belt Conference is Troy. Troy's 23-10 this year, and this is their 3rd appearance in the tournament. Then you got coming out of the Northeast Conference, St. Francis, PA. Losing record, 15-17. This is their 2nd appearance in the tournament. I wanted to look up to see how they got in the tournament. The Northeast, they got a conference tournament, Midnight Rider.
Good gosh.
I got a few more to say. Could you try to look?
Yeah, I'll look it up for you.
I want to see how they got into the tournament at 15-17. It had to have been a nice upset.
In the tournament.
Yeah. So
who was that again?
St. Francis, PA.
Okay.
And then we got coming out of the Horizon. They're in the tournament quite a bit. Everybody knows Robert Morris. Robert Morris has been to the tournament 9 times now. And then next we got coming from the Coastal Athletic is UNC Wilmington, 27-7. This is UNC Wilmington's 7th appearance in the tournament. Coming in out of the West Coast Conference, the WCC, you got Gonzaga. They upset St. Mary's last night. St. Mary's will be in the tournament as well. Gonzaga comes in with a 25-8 record. This is their 27th appearance in the NCAA tournament. It's the 26th straight for Gonzaga. I think that's pretty awesome. What do you say, Midnight Rider? What you got?
I was going to say St. Francis did win their conference tournament.
Who'd they beat?
They beat
and do you see
Central Connecticut, the one.
Yeah, Central Connecticut was the best team in that league. I remember them.
Yep. 46-43.
What? Wow, that's low scoring defensive game, sounds like.
Yep.
We got just a couple more tickets being punched. The Southland Conference is going to be represented by McNeese. McNeese has played a lot of good ball this year. They're 27-6, and this is their 4th appearance in the tournament. Then we got the Patriot Conference. We got one of the hometown teams, American University, with 22-12 record, going to be representing the Patriot Conference. This is their 4th appearance to the dance. And then last but not least, in the Big Sky Conference, we got Montana with a record of 25-9. This is their 13th appearance in here, so they're no strangers to the dance. Any names on that list catch your ear?
McNeese.
Mm-hmm.
McNeese State, right?
Yes.
Always gonna stand out to me because of the one player that I know that came from there.
Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars. The nicest one of all the bad boy Pistons. That's why I know McNeese State.
Yeah, I've been following them this year. Like I say, I put some coin on them a couple times too. They didn't let me down. And they're solid.
You said UNC Wilmington.
Yes, sir.
And you said that they've only made the tournament 7 times?
Yes, what it said. Mm-hmm.
Right. I guess I'm thinking. I remember UNC Wilmington was always a matchup for Maryland. Because if I'm not mistaken, UNC Wilmington was the team that Drew Nichols hit the shot running to the locker room on.
I think you're right.
And you said 7 times. I'm like, damn, but I mean, some teams you look at and you're like, man, they're a staple. They're a staple. And then you look at it like, no, they ain't been to the daggone dance in years. So those are 2 names that stood out for me.
Yeah, no, the one thing that stood out to me was Drake's record over in the Missouri Valley. 30-3, man. I don't care what conference you play in. That's a pretty decent record, better than decent. So wonder what kind of seed they're going to get with that. Maybe a 5?
I bet you dollars to donuts that they don't get a single digit seed. That's how bad they treat some of these teams. I bet they give them a 10 seed.
That was actually UNC Greensboro.
That was UNC Green. Okay. All right, UNC Greensboro. All right. Thank you, Midnight Rider.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. But hearing that Gonzaga's gone to 26 straight, that's pretty. Even though I think they play in a weak conference, but that's pretty impressive number too.
Jack, I don't know about that weak conference stuff. You know,
ain't all that. St. Mary's, Gonzaga, San Francisco.
You still got Portland, the Portland Pilots. You got LMU out there. You got a lot of out in the West Coast.
Portland. All right, you hang on to that Portland there, big guy.
J Dub said the sad truth. That's the sad truth about the Cowboys. Dumbass Jerry Jones. I said it the other day. I'll say it again and then I'll leave it alone. Dallas will never really have a true offseason until Jerry Jones gives up control to a football person that knows what they're doing.
Did you see what I sent you the other day, KG? Stoyankovich put up 37 the other day.
Yeah, that was last night. I did see that.
Yeah, that's impressive. I wonder what he's going to do. And I don't even know what year he is.
Who you talking about?
Jack was talking about Stoyankovich last night.
Isn't that what's his name's son?
Oh, yeah. So he must have gotten the clutch gene from his mom.
Wow.
Well, they lost. He scored 37 in the loss.
Oh, okay. Well, if he airballed a 3 in the last seconds from the corner, then he'd probably just be like his daddy.
Yeah, he was. That's you asked him, was I watching the Cal game? By that time, Jack, I was already in the bed. I was so disappointed. I was in the bed. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Tell you, man, you gotta start watching some better basketball, bro. You feel better.
But Jack, all I could think of last night, I ain't never gonna hear the end of this. I done talked all this shit. I ain't never gonna hear the end of this, man. I told Jack we was going. I ain't never gonna hear the end of this.
We're not gonna mess with you because they the team we knew they were.
They all we thought they were.
I don't know why he thinks people pick on him about Georgetown.
I know, right?
Like we would actually have a bit when Georgetown goes on a losing streak and count. Like, what? Will we do that? Not us. No.
I like Maddie's comment here. I agree with him.
Yeah, Maddie said Drake is going to win a game next week.
Maybe 2.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Watch. That team runs, man.
St. Francis went on a run in their tourney. They will be a number 16 seed.
So they'll probably play Tuesday. Because they are 15 and 17, they'll probably be one of the Tuesday games.
And now, what if St. Francis is your NC State of 2025? Meaning, you went on a run in your tourney, and then all of a sudden you had this miracle run to the Final Four.
Then I think you ate the one gummy and you didn't think it was strong enough, and then you ate the second and third.
And you know,
questions.
Another thing about that Drake team, man, they have one hell of a defense. Drake only gives up about 55 points a game.
That's defense. You said 55?
59. Yeah, 59.
50. How many points are they scoring?
I don't have that. They weren't in the top 20 of scoring.
Okay.
I just got top 20 here with me.
I think the only reason y'all want to see Drake win is because Drake hasn't won a lot this year, especially after Kendrick Lamar and that mustard stuff.
You ain't right. But I may have something.
But that defense like that, I wouldn't surprise me if they
probably a minor. Oh, this is me again. Yeah,
I was going there, but I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Because here's the thing. I don't know if Meatloaf's watching. Because if Meatloaf watching, you know, she likes to hit the squabble up. You know, that's Meatloaf thing. She loves some Kendrick. But with Drake, I guarantee you, Drake's running old school basketball. They're probably running a boxing one, a 2-1-2 zone.
Oh, if they had a play called I'd be.
That's the thing that you don't see nobody. You don't see nobody run stuff like that. But I digress. Right. Matty Ice said UNC Wilmington could win one depending on their matchup.
Agreed.
J Dub said facts. Jerry needs to go. I've been saying that for quite some time.
I haven't because I like him there.
Sam said make sure you get a roll of paper towels if you eating White Castle, man. Never again.
Oh nah, I like White Castle.
Maddie said Monday night show gonna be a long one. Well,
Maddie, it will be.
It will be.
Yeah,
look, I gotta make sure we got enough memory and hard drive space and all that. But we're not gonna prolong it. We're gonna why
aren't we doing two shows like we did the last?
I guess we can break it down to two. We can do Monday and Tuesday.
Nobody cares about the Tuesday games but you.
I agree.
I got my dancing shoes on, man.
Now, I will say this too, but I don't hit the floor till Thursday.
Oh, exactly. See, that's the problem. You don't hit the floor till Thursday. See, this is a tradition with me and my mom. Once they start doing this first 4 in, my mom needs to know who's the first 4 in. What's the game I need to watch? And I'm always on it. Hey, watch this game right here. This kid right here is the one you want to watch. Or you want to watch this team, see what they can do because they might go far. Like I gotta on Monday, I gotta make sure I print out her brackets and take them to her. So
your mama got the internet. Tell her get on the thing, hop in the group. She can make her picks in the group like everybody else.
Well, I gotta take her a bracket before she goes.
She got to write the show. God dang, you know what? You definitely hurt child.
I like writing them down. I like writing them down.
I do too, because but see, I used to get mine out of Sports Illustrated.
But I don't have anywhere to submit a handwritten bracket anymore. I used to go to a couple American Legions. A couple buddies would run some pools. Brian Chooney's mama would run a pool. I'd run all the way down to Upper Marlboro, down by Cheltenham to drop it off to her at Grizzlies. She used to work at Grizzlies Bar and Grill. Mama Chew, she was the best. But
that's what's up.
I don't like just playing all online joints now, you know. I used to like knowing who I was competing against, and you getting them online ones, man. I mean, except for our group, we're gonna know who we competing against, but all the other ones online, it's just anybody and everybody, you know.
Right. Let's jump off into these NBA happenings. Jack, I know you got something, but let me give you something before you go. Looking at the NBA standings. Cavaliers, 55-10.
Mm-hmm.
5 wins. And what we got? What,
15,
17 games?
something like that. Yeah. I need a hell of a losing streak.
They've won 15 straight. So
Who would have
Jack.
thought that?
I mean,
Who would have thought that, baby? Don't say I said that the other night. Who would have thought that? And you said, I did. Man. And that was probably what? 12 games ago we made that bet?
Mm-hmm.
It was longer than that, wasn't it?
No, it was about 2 weeks ago.
About 12 games.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I give about 12 games. Because it's right around the All-Star break. So we about 12 games, right?
Yeah. So didn't think that was gonna happen. But the standings are starting to change a little bit, guys. The Knicks are up in the 3rd spot. The Bucks have moved up. Pistons have dropped. Magic have dropped. And, a lot of this does with, the health of your team. There's been some injuries around. And then you look down, you see the Sixers, man. Hell, the Sixers are almost in the lottery. They're going to be in the lottery pick, man. They're down 13th in the East. So some of these teams got to make some moves, man. Not down either, like Orlando and Detroit. Detroit was up, I think, 4th a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So I can't believe the Knicks are making the moves with Brunson out. They've won a few. What do they got? They've won 2 in a row right now. They're 5-5 in their last 10. And Brunson went down 3 games ago, I think. I was watching that game. That was an ugly sprain. He sprained it kind of like this.
Yeah.
On the front side. Watching Cooper last night, I rolled my ankle. And J-Dub, you rolled your ankle a couple times. That stuff sucks. And then over in the West, that's even changing, man. You got the Grizzlies making a move. Timberwolves dropping. Timberwolves were high. They were like, I want to say 4th or 5th. Lakers have came up. Lakers are 8-2 in their last 10. OKC is just playing efficient offense and tough defense, man. And what they're saying about this team now, they do their interviews after the game. You know how it's usually one player? Nah, that's not how OKC does it. They get their arms around each other and everybody starting 5. You got Chet Holmgren there. You got Hartenstein was there. You got SGA. And they get interviewed as a family. And what they say when they're done, we grew up. And that's what they have done. They were a very young team. And now they've got about 3 years under their belt. I'm a little concerned about Oklahoma City. I really am. So, and then Memphis, they got a tough defense. And then Jokic and the Nuggets, they've rose on the list. Just looking down, you got Dallas, Phoenix. Are they going to make the play-in, or are they going to get bumped out? I don't know. What do you think about the West, Midnight Rider, since that's your side of town?
I mean, I think it's the best conference in the world, man.
Oh, in the world, Craig.
In the world, Craig. I mean, no, seriously. I mean, I think it's so close that it's going to depend on how these teams fix things out. You got LA probably without LeBron for about another week or two. And I don't even know if that matters because of the way Luka plays. I think you can make up some of that. And as long as Luka doesn't mind being selfish in some moments, I think they'll be okay. They can stay afloat. I think some of the other teams, I think we all know that Dallas is pretty much out of it at a certain point.
Well, they're at the 10 spot right now.
I think they're treading water, trying not to go under. And if they can make it, they can make it. But, I mean, that's going to be a tough spot.
But you know what, Midnight Rider? You got a team that really hasn't fell apart or had injury problems, in my opinion, in the Phoenix Suns that are 3 games worse than Dallas. So why is Phoenix so low?
Because
Phoenix has a cohesion problem. That's the problem.
Look at that. In the darkness.
I'm listening to you.
No, I totally agree with KG. I think it's a thing.
Too much talent.
Talk about chemistry.
Yeah,
chemistry matters, man.
There's a lot of talent on that team to see them so low. I mean,
but all it takes is 2 good weeks, and they could be right back in it because it's so close in the West. It's not like it's not like the bottom part of the West is running away from everybody. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. The West is tighter, has more wins at the bottom, no doubt. Mm-hmm.
And that just becomes a thing of like just figuring it out more so than anything else.
And then the teams in the hunt for the number one pick, or should you say that the best percentage of getting the number one pick is Charlotte, Washington, and Utah right now. The Hornets only have 16 wins. Utah has 15 wins, and Washington has 13 wins. So that tightened up a little bit. Washington used to be way down. Well, look at it. Washington won 4 out of 6 this week. So that's
only because they've got Middleton and Smart now playing some solid minutes for them, and they're playing smarter basketball.
Well, they don't want to play smart out of that lottery pick.
They don't, but they're not going to get themselves out of that lottery pick enough. Trust me, it'll be you'll see another week like the other night. I think it was the front end of either the back end of the Toronto. It was the back end of the Toronto game, but they didn't play anybody. Like Middleton was out. What's his name? Smart was out. They didn't play any of the veterans, and you saw the cats like AJ Johnson and the young guys. I mean, think about it. Koulibaly is supposed to be out the rest of the season, more than likely.
Really?
So that's another option for them to steal minutes for young guys, especially the young guys, and go about their business.
Okay.
Speaking of seasons and things, De'Aaron Fox to have season-ending finger surgery. He has a torn ligament in his left pinky.
He had a game last night.
So and with that being said, I'm going to ask the question: is this just a way for the Spurs to get back into the lottery yet again and get another generational talent?
I mean, I don't know why you asking the question.
Because you already know the answer.
Spurs don't got that good of a chance. I mean, shit, they almost got 30 wins, dude.
They'll find a way because the league loves the Spurs.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they got Wembanyama, didn't they?
All right. Well, I also went in and looked up some NBA leaders currently. Everybody know who's leading the league in scoring. This boy scored more 50-point games, more 40-point games than anybody in the league, and that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 32.8, averaging almost 33 points a game, man. And then Giannis is right next to him at 30. Jokic has 29, Tatum 27, and Anthony Edwards 27. And here's the part where I want KG, because I know KG is the big rebound guy. Remember KG used to ask us, man, where's all these guys with this 14, 15 rebounds a game stuff? Well, that's where they at, man. Sabonis gets 14 a game. Towns gets 13 a game. Jokic gets 13 a game. Zubac gets 12 and a half a game. And Kessler gets 12 and a half a game. So,
unless I bet on them, then they get 5.
Yeah, I needed Hartenstein to get 10 last night. Killed me.
And that's good to hear, Jack.
Yeah.
Because last season I said it. Mm-hmm. Rebounding is a lost art. And we used to have a saying. My 11th grade algebra teacher, he taught me this saying because he was a Sixers fan. And as the Sixers, and we talking, what was that, 90, 97, 98, I had his class, Mr. Lenny. And he said to me, I like Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman's a 20 and 20 man. He taught me about 20 and 20 players. Or, he's a 20 and 10 guy. He could fall in 10, he can get 20 points, but he could fall into 10 rebounds. Or he's a 10 and 10 guy. And I thought about it, a couple weeks ago. I said, we don't have any more 20 guys. 20 guys don't exist.
Well, you know why?
Very rare. Huh?
You know why?
Why?
All the long shots.
The 3-ball.
Yeah, exactly.
The 3-ball is getting more rebounds outside of the box. Or I should say outside of the paint.
You got long rebounds coming out where the guards are getting them. Because now, I've said this before, and Midnight Riders, I know he's going to say, because I know Midnight Rider, this is where nights like this, where you're putting up long threes and things of that sort, that's where Rod Strickland used to eat at.
Oh, yeah.
Those long rebounds, catch him out by the perimeter and go. You start.
Hey, Midnight Rider, does he know a basketball player outside the 90s?
I don't think you know a guard outside of Rod Strickland.
Well, Strickland's my guy. I pattern my game after Strick. Those long rebounds and start to break.
Every time we talk about basketball, you gotta go bring a Rod Strickland out your ass.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I did that just for you, though.
I know you did.
But you see that there is no, like, you used to have guys that had 8, 9, 10 offensive rebounds because they would get the ball and that's what they would eat at. Get it, pump fake, put it back up, lay it in. Sabonis can be a 20 and 20 guy. Jokic damn sure can be a 20 and 20 guy. If this is the 90s, Jokic would be a 20 and 20 guy, guaranteed.
Sabonis could, Towns could. Only ones I think that wouldn't would be Zubac and Kessler because they're more like 12, 15 guys. You know? But the numbers are up, I think. I don't know what last year's were, but I was happy to see a 14 and a 13 rebound a game guy. Because, like I say, a lot of times if you go to make a bet and you get some of these guys and you try to put down 10 rebounds, man, they ain't giving you no odds on 10. They're going to bump you up to 13.
Right.
So, you know, that's a lot of rebounds, I think. Let me finish this up with the assists per game.
Old manish tonight.
Huh?
Maddie said I'm sounding old manish tonight. That's every night, Maddie, when we talk NBA.
Yeah, that's every night. Man. So I'm sure you guys know who's leading the league in assists.
No, who is?
Trae Young, 11.5 a game. Jokic is second at 10.5 a game.
A center is second?
Yes. With double-digit assists. And
Good
then
grief.
Cade Cunningham. I knew he could score decent, but I didn't know Cade was kicking the ball out like this. He gets 9.5 assists a game. Halliburton is down. I think some of his injuries might have hampered his numbers, but Halliburton's down to 9 assists a game. He used to be a 10, 11 assist a game guy. And Harden is down. He's down at 8.7 assists. So look like Trae Young's going to hold on to that. I don't see his number dropping far enough to let Jokic or Cunningham catch up. So, and then this is a stat I like, field goal percentage. Walker Kessler leads the league with 72% field goal percentage. It's all big men because they're dunking or shooting layups. Jared Allen, Daniel Gafford, Jalen Duren, and Rudy Gobert. All 5 of them are the leaders in field goal percentage, 72%, 70% for Allen. Gafford, 69%. Duren, 69%. And Gobert, 65%. Then we got three-pointers made. Anybody want to take a guess on who leads the league in three-pointers made? Well, I guess that's you, KG. Where did Midnight Rider go? He did.
I think he jumped off for a second, but you say three-pointers made?
Yep.
I guess
Wow.
I would say Steph, but I know I'm wrong. Would it be Harden?
No. AE. Ant-Man.
Oh, really?
Ant-Man's got 262 threes made this year. Steph's got 251 for third place. Malik Beasley is ahead of Steph in second. And then the 4th and 5th spot are held down by Boston Celtics. Derek White has 222. Jason Tatum has 221. But that's just how many you made. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. What's your percentage from three? None of those boys are on the percentage list. None of them.
Of course.
Leading the league in three-point percentage. We're going to former Duke Blue Devil Luke Kennard, 46.4%. And then next is the Milwaukee Bucks, Taurean Prince at 44.9%. Cleveland Cavaliers, Ty Jerome, 43.8. The Kings, Zach LaVine, 43. And another Duke player, Grayson Allen, 43%. 3-point shooting Duke has 2 of them in the top 5. Looky here. And then we got block shots per game. I like this too. Wemby was leading in this. I'm not sure if he got enough games to qualify for the blocks leader, but we'll see. Wemby almost averages 4 a game, dude. When Holmgren was healthy, because he sat out a lot this year, he used to get 3.5 a game. Second place, Walker Kessler, 2.5. Brooke Lopez, 2. Daniel Gafford, 2. Miles Turner, 2. That's not, man, block shots. I was watching a lot of block shots on in the Boston game last night. That Derek White, he leads all guards in blocks, man. It's amazing. He does really well coming from behind when guards beat him. He'll come from behind and smack it. People don't notice that about Derek White's game, that he gets a lot of blocks. And then the next defensive category is going to be steals per game. Dyson Daniels over at the Atlanta Hawks gets 3 steals a game. Chris Dunn with the Clippers, 2 steals a game. SGA with OKC gets 2 steals a game. Jokic gets 2 steals a game. And Carson Wallace with OKC gets 1.7 steals a game. That's the last of what I had for stat leaders in the NBA right now. Maybe we'll revise this toward the last week of the season and see if any changes have been made in the stat leaders.
Well, let me ask you a question, Jack. I don't know if you had this with you, but as far as total blocks so far for Wemby, I heard you say he was up in the 4s.
Averaging 3.8.
3.8. Okay, 3.8. Okay. Because I looked it up, and I looked up total blocks per game. I mean, total blocks for a season as a record, and it was 456 and 84.85 by Mark Eaton.
Really?
And yeah, he had a 5.56 average. And I was like, if Wemby can get close to that. Because if Wemby don't change, if he don't block the shot, he's going to change the trajectory of the shooter all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. And then steals, man. It's
I like the Jokic's up there in the top on steals too.
Yeah. Guys, when you see guys now, they play the lanes to get the steals. It's not they're not picking pockets. They're playing the lanes to get the steals, which is still good. I mean, that's still fundamental basketball. If you can play the lanes and get the steals, go for it. And it starts to break, and you're good. Yeah,
no, they do that, and then they do the drive and kick to the corners. A lot of guys will be over there shadowing, trying to get that steal on that pass because they know it's coming. You always see somebody go to the hole, damn near out of bounds, and they kick it to the man in the corner. And a lot of times the defender will just kind of be creeping over there because he knows it's coming on the drive. So I was trying to look up Wemby's stats.
Can I hop in real quick?
Yes, sir.
Now, when I think about steals, I always talk about, I think there's 2 different types of guys that get steals. There's the on-ball person, kind of like what's your boy number 0, Bradley, from the University of Texas for the Celtics. He used to be a great on-ball defender, Rondo. And then there's guys that I call passing lane stealers. And those are guys like your AI. When the ball's on the front side and they try to skip it backside, he's normally jumping the passing lanes. So I think that's how I categorize my people when they steal the basketball and where they operate at.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to a couple of these comments real quick. Sam said sideline needs a private group for pools.
That's what we got, Sam. Sam, we're on ESPN. I'll send out the link, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, because we got a pool for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie said talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is their third 10-plus game winning streak of the year.
It is.
They're doing it. J Dub said, yes, it does. You don't want to roll your ankle. Ouch. When you roll it bad enough.
Hey, I'm going to bring back a memory to J Dub. We was living together. We moved into a house, little rental room house joint, and we worked at the same place. And neither one of us had a car at the time, so we just had to walk back around the way to shoot ball. We bebopping down the road, having a good time, getting our head right. And Jack's walking on the curb, off the curb, on the curb, off the curb. Like, I'm like, what's he doing? Next thing you know, that ankle rolls on that curb. Oh, he had the round ankle bone laying on the ground, on the concrete. And I was just like, ooh, yeah, we turned around. I had to gimp his ass home, man. That thing was purple in a matter of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I remember that. Done that. All right.
I did that's why I started wearing ankle braces, because the same thing happened. I rolled my ankle like that and it would look like an L.
But you look at today's basketball, I used to wear it. I had to have my high tops on. And I used to like wearing the Reebok pumps too. And then they had them, I think it might have been Matumbo or somebody had them extra high tops. And nowadays,
Zoe, they look like
Lonzo. Somebody has some high tops, probably about that much higher.
Yep.
And nowadays, all these boys running in low tops, they're not even tied.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it, but I don't know. I had to have my stuff strapped up.
Jordan says, "Hey, what's up, Coach Cart?"
Hey, Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
Carr. He correctly said Coach Carr.
Yeah, that's Jordan Beck. I coached him. I coached him 2 years ago. Good to hear from you, bud. Thanks for joining. How you hear about the show, Jordan?
Sam said, get in on the points plus rebounds plus assist parlays. Better chance of winning. Tennis is good to learn about. Soccer and Japanese basketball is good too. Play responsibly.
Oh man, if you want some basketball, get you a good Russian basketball league during the middle of the day. You just place your bets and let it go from there.
Jack Wagner said, that hurt like hell. I believe it, Jack. Like I'm sitting here wincing now thinking about it. Sam said, don't wear Skechers. Sprain my ankle bad wearing those.
Yeah, I'm totally against Skechers and Crocs. I don't neither one of them.
And I'll put on a pair of Crocs to relax my feet. I like driving in my Crocs because I don't really. My wife got on me about driving with no shoes on. That's what I used to do. I used to drive with no shoes on, and she got on me about that. So I got to slip my feet into something. But I got a pair of Kyrie's, and I looked around and I was like, man, I don't have no shoes to ball in. You can ball in your Kyrie? No, the hell I can't. Ain't no daggone ankle supporting them Kyries. No, I got no shoes. If I wanted to play basketball right now, I had to go out and buy shoes to play basketball in. Nah, I'm good.
Oh no, I got shoes. I got shoes,
but they just not basketball shoes.
Oh, I got shoes. I got 3 pair of Jordans I'd strap up any day. I got some shell toes I'll strap up.
Nope. I wore Jordans playing BJ one-on-one. I said I'd never wear Jordans again to ball.
Not my Jordans.
I'll never wear numbered Jordans again to play ball. Let's just put it that way. Jordan said, doing pretty good. Coached me last year. Right. I was scrolling on Facebook and decided to hop on here.
All right, send me a friend request, Jordan, and I'll get you the info to follow us, buddy.
Matty Ice said, I just walked up and down in Boston in my Skechers, no issue. Sam said, the older we get, I drive with no shoes on too. See? It's a comfort thing.
Nah, dog. I gotta have shoes on. Bump that.
It's a comfort thing.
What did he say? He used to ball with no shoes on?
No, he said he drive with no shoes on.
I don't like that. I've done that before, beach and everything. But back then, I had beach feet, dude. I could do anything. I could walk across rocks. I could walk across coals. Nowadays, you don't catch me with no shoes on, dude. My feet hurt.
Exactly.
Unless you want to pier.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was having a great day that day and ended up ruining my vacation.
What's crazy is I used to love walking on the hot cement with no shoes on and hot asphalt with no shoes on.
Who
When I
likes
was young,
that?
I loved that.
Who likes that?
I used to love that. And then you talk about playing ball with no shoes on. When I was living in Palmer Park growing up, my neighbor had a basketball court in the backyard. I hopped the fence to go play basketball in his yard with no shoes on. Because I was just hopping the fence to go talk to him. And then we started playing basketball. We were out there playing basketball with no shoes on.
God, this boy gonna make me cry.
Jordan said, all right, I'll hit you up. It was great playing for you. Appreciate you teaching me so much.
Hey, Jordan, I'll still be around the ballpark this year. I just don't think I'm coaching. So if I can think anything to help you when I see you, buddy, I'll always coach you up. Okay.
Is that all the NBA we got?
And thank you for the love.
And Sam said, oh, walk barefoot on a hot sidewalk after the rain. Oh, that is therapeutic right there. Oh my God, that is therapeutic. Oh
yeah, that's how you know y'all ain't living in the hood or something. Because
I did
walking down on the sidewalk without no shoes on. What? Barefoot? Man, there's at least 3 beer bottles on the sidewalk, and I'm no.
See, I was in the yard with no shoes on like that.
Hey,
I was in the yard. I didn't have to worry about that because I swept the walkway in the yard.
I done got a crack pipe and I got a shot of heroin. Just then walking around the corner. Oh hell no, bro.
No, I can do that over my way. It's beach life over here. It's island life over here, but my feet don't want it. My barefoot days are over.
That was then. I can't do that now. My uncle used to tell me all the time, you keep walking out here with bare feet, you're going to have Fred Flintstone feet. And now I wear size 14. So if I'd listened to my uncle, maybe I wouldn't be wearing a 14.
Got you.
Final thoughts, gentlemen. Let's wrap this shit up, B.
Wrap it up, B. God damn, time flying.
Flies?
Man.
Well, we were 40 minutes on some people that passed.
Well, they deserve their flowers. I mean, even though people deserve their flowers while they can smell them.
Yeah, that's nice. It was nice, but
for me, real quick, is we in the tournament season. Hopefully you guys have placed your bets. Day betting is a good thing because you can always wake up. Not even wake up. You can turn around at the end of the day, find you some happy hour money in your bank account, or you can see the upside down the goalpost with the thing on it saying that you ain't won shit. So however it goes, enjoy it. Enjoy these days of basketball and get ready for the tournament, baby.
You said it right there. You said it right, Midnight Rider. I'm putting NFL on the shelf for a couple weeks, man. If I hear it, I hear it. If I don't, I don't, because it's madness time, baby. It's March Madness, dude. Favorite time of the year. I've said it a million times. So enjoy the hoops, man. Enjoy the hoops, everybody.
And Jack Carr said, who worries about the first 4 in? This guy right here. I'll be from Tuesday to April 5th. Or when the championship game, April 5th to April 7th. Whenever the championship game is in April.
I believe. 5th or 6th.
Whatever day it is, I'll be locked in. I already told you on Tuesday. I'm sorry, on Tuesday. Meatloaf is out of school for like the next 30 days because we got tournament time. We still got the NIT. We got the women's tournament.
Oh,
we got too much stuff to watch. So Meatloaf can't go to school.
Poor Meatloaf. Meatloaf can't read beyond a second grade level, but hey.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, she can tell you who to bet on.
Okay.
Hey.
Come on. Read the comments.
Good luck, Sean.
You got a couple. One of them's funny. This one here is good too.
Jordan said, appreciate you, coach. You're a real one this year. I may be pitching. Just bought myself a new bat as I'm starting to improve. At least I would like to say I am.
Hey, just keep working on your game, Jordan. You got room in your backyard. Get your dad to get you a net and a tee. That's all you need, man, to improve that you're hitting. It's hand-eye coordination, man. Hitting that ball off the tee, it's the best workout you can do by yourself. So I recommend you just work out on when you can on your own too. Don't just rely on practice and the coach. You know what to do.
Where the hell were you at, Jack, when I was in high school?
I love my kids. I love my guys, man. And this is going to be a difficult year if I'm already rethinking what I want to do. But yeah, no, I got some good kids over here that have played for me, and they listen and they apply what I say. And I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying I'm 100% always right. And I make mistakes too. I'm human. But you just gotta be with the kids. Make an impact on them in sports world and in life. You know, I used to always love sitting down with them and walking through the warm-up line. Hey, how was school? Hey, how'd that project go? How's your grandma doing? How was vacation? You know, stuff like that. You get into their life too and learn about them as young men. So 11, 12 years old, very important time in a young man's life, I feel. That's when I had the choice. Which way do I go? And didn't always go the right way. So I try to be that guy to help these young kids make good decisions too, not just improve in sports.
Right on. Sam said, come on, man, if you keep the front sidewalk swept, you okay barefoot till 5 p.m. That's what I did. I kept the front sidewalk swept. And then we moved over in Bladensburg. I had a patio, man. That patio stayed swept. So that's why, man, you go out there and that sun hit it just right, and you stand out there and that cement hot, boy, ain't nothing like it in the world.
Yeah, I'll trust you on that one.
J-Dub, always a good show, fellas. Thanks for joining us, J-Dub. We appreciate that. Jordan comes back. He said, yes, sir. All right, I'll talk to you another time. I will say Jack is a good coach. Yeah, I needed a coach like that growing up. I ain't gonna lie.
But do you hear how the young man started the sentence? Yes, sir, man. That's how he is. He's a great kid.
Just make sure you send him the $5 you promised him for making these nice comments about you.
No, I had no idea he was coming on tonight. I know that
you know
Jackson,
I'm with you, dog. Come on.
I know that Jackson and his brother come on, and Jordan knows Jackson. Jordan plays with Jackson Smith. And I just seen Jackson last weekend at a fundraiser for his little brother's travel team. So, I mean, I'm out. The baseball people see me and stuff, but I'm just not as involved right now as I have been in the past 14 years over here.
All right, Jack.
It's tough, y'all.
No, I was about to say, I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah. But I think there's a time, man. I mean,
but don't be scared to go back if you feel it.
But you know, I don't know.
That's an offline. That's an offline conversation.
Yeah, it is. It is, because I don't want to say something to upset anybody or to make me look bad. But yeah, there's reasons.
Let's go ahead and get up out of here. That's the midnight ride. I'm the big guy KG. We does the overtime now. Ain't paid, but we do it. But we are out of here.